Welcome to Making Sense with Steve. Today we're going to talk about taxes. More specifically, who actually pays taxes. To understand this, we first need to understand business. The basic construction of a business is that a business has what's called a business plan. And a business plan is the rules that govern the business. So, now that we understand the basics of business, I'm not going to go into all the details, just the basics. Let's say Bob decides he wants to make widgets. For those of you that are conceptually challenged, widgets can be anything. Could be cell phones, televisions, automobiles, houses. Any product out there is a widget. Now, for the simplicity, let's just say Bob's not being taxed in any way, shape, or form on his widgets. So, Bob acquires a building and the equipment and the people and everything, and he starts making widgets. And widgets, total expenses, materials, shipping, everything, management, labor, totals out to 50 cents per widget. That's what it costs Bob to make a widget. So now Bob goes to his business plan. And Bob's business plan says that he is going to double his costs. And that's what he's going to sell widgets for. So Bob's going to sell widgets for $1 a piece. Okay? So Bob's doing pretty good. He's making money. And now all of a sudden, you get a politician. And a politician jumps up and says, Bob, more importantly, the widget industry has made this much in profit and they're not paying their fair share. So we need to tax the widget industry. We need to make sure that Bob pays his fair share. We need to punish Bob for succeeding, is basically what they're saying. And the people, they all jump on board. Oh yeah, Bob is such an evil and terrible person, and Bob's not paying his fair share. Let's tax Bob. Okay, fine. So the government levies a 25-cent tax on widgets. Every widget that's ever been made, now you're required to pay a 25-cent tax. So let's look at how Bob views this for a minute. Cost Bob 50 cents to make a widget, plus Bob's going to have to pay 25 cents in tax for every widget. So now it's costing Bob 75 cents to produce a widget. And so what does Bob do? Bob goes back to his business plan, and his business plan says double your expense. Well, Bob's current expense is 75 cents. So Bob is now going to sell widgets for $1.50. Before, Bob was making 50 cents profit per widget. Now Bob's going to be making 75 cents per widget. Now, the government is not going to tax Bob. They're going to tax widgets. Whatever a widget is, they're going to tax that industry. So everybody that makes widgets are going to increase their prices just like Bob did. So there's going to be no difference in who you buy your widget from, realistically. I mean, you've got your quality and name brand and things like that people are going to go for. But basically, everybody's going to increase the price of their widgets the same as Bob did. So if you want to buy a widget, you're going to pay the additional price. So let's think about this for a minute. Is Bob paying the tax? Or is Bob merely collecting the tax and turning it over to the government? Because Bob increased the price of his product because of the tax. You bought the product, you're the one that paid the tax. Bob just collected it and gave it to the government. That's all that happened. I remember some years back, and I think it was President Obama at the time, and I could be wrong, so if I am, I am. Crying, yelling, and screaming, the oil companies are making so many billions of dollars in profit. We need to tax the oil companies. And I listened to all the people jump on board. Yeah, we need to tax the oil companies. And the only thought that went through my mind is, what's that going to do to your price at the pump? Because the oil company doesn't pay the tax. They just increase the price of their product to cover the tax. Right now, on average, it varies from state to state, but on average, 44% of what you pay at the pump is tax. So if you're paying $3 a gallon for gasoline, $1.32 is tax. This means the oil company is charging you $1.68 for a gallon of gas. Your government is getting $1.32. They didn't manufacture the gasoline. They didn't harvest the raw oil. They didn't refine it. They didn't ship it. They didn't do anything. And they're getting $1.32 out of your pocket for every gallon of gas you buy. So when you want to increase the tax on an oil company, all you're going to do is drive up the cost of the gasoline you buy at the pump. That's all you're going to do. What we need to start doing as the people of this country is we need to start telling our elected representatives, stop taxing businesses. This is what I consider a hidden tax. Okay? We all think, oh yeah, we're going to tax the corporation. The corporation just raises the price of their product to pay for the tax. They don't pay it, you pay it. They just collect it and give it to the government as required by law. So stop believing that you're taxing a business. You're not. There's no such thing as a tax to a business. All a tax on a business is another business expense. Please stop agreeing to this. I'm going to follow up with 2 other videos on the subject of taxes. One of them is going to be the government and the usage of taxes. The other one, the final one that I'll make, is what I believe is true, sensible tax reform in this country. Our tax law is so complex that you would spend a lifetime trying to figure it out and still only scratch the surface. I have what I believe is a comprehensive tax reform plan that is simple for everybody to understand. And at that point, if we implement in this country, if we were to actually implement my plan for taxes, you would see real reform in the government. Because all of these hidden taxes would all come out, and you would finally see how much you're actually paying in taxes. Between income tax, property tax, driver's license, license plates, your boat registration, everything that you pay, hunting license, fishing license, all of this stuff. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. In any case, I'm going to close this one out. I hope you all have a great day, and I'll see you next time around.